When I saw this photograph of the Goslings, I decided I absolutely had to have a go at painting it. Once again, I always start by dividing the photograph into four and also my background paper. And I'm going to be drawing these Goslings in pastels using a white pastel pencil and drawing the shapes using negative space a tremendous amount. That is the space between the legs to draw the leg. Dropping the heads in, putting the wings in, and then drawing the group of three, and once again comparing size against size, having a go at doing the legs. And you can see from the way that I draw, I know it's very, very fast, it has been speeded up, but you can really get a drawing down pretty quickly. A lot of this drawing will be corrected as I paint it, so it is just the initial stages that I've done. I've got a huge box, I think it's 48 half pastels of the Sennelier range, which is nice. It gives you a lot of choice of colour. And what I do is I have a paper plate, and as I use the colour, I keep the colours to one side in case I don't finish the painting all in one shot. Instead of painting with browns and creams, I like to mix my colours. So I'm using purples and blues and oranges. And when they're all together, you're going to end up with the browny creamy colours that you're after. So wherever there's a dark patch, I'm putting dark colours down, and then I'm putting more pastel on top. These are soft pastels. I don't smudge with my finger, and I don't use any sort of implement to smudge with. I find by pushing the colour one on top of each other, it blends on its own, so it's a much, much more vibrant way of painting. And at this stage it looks a little bright, but as I add more colour to it, you'll see it all starts to blend. I'm now using a black pastel pencil just to drop some of the detail in, and once again referring back to the photograph and putting the lights where the lights should be and just increasing the darks. And I'll come back and adjust that at a later stage should it require any adjusting. Now I'm going to have a go at working on the three Goslings that are together. Starting off with the blue, putting the blues and purples in where the dark mass needs to go, and then using the same colours as for the Gosling on the right. I'm using a sort of pale orangey brown colour just to block in, and then gradually start working on top of it and putting the light in. And as soon as you put light onto pastel, it all comes to life. It's a wonderful medium to work in. It's one of my favourite mediums. I like the drawing part of it. I'm going in and just painting a bit into the background to get rid of the very dark background, and I do blend the background. I use the edge of my hand to blend the background in. I want it to flatten off, and so you will see me blending with the side of my hand. And this is where you lose some of your drawing and you come back and you adjust it and you readjust your shapes to try and capture the image. Now, going back in, readjusting the darks. Quite like that blue, it seems to work. Just showing you that I work a lot with the complementary colours and try and clash the yellows against the purples and clash the greens against the red. And that way you get a very dynamic painting. So the purples and the blues are there because I'm going to be coming back in with oranges and yellows and brightening the whole thing. And the two of them against each other, you just get a very dynamic painting. No blending whatsoever going on. So allowing the colour to fight against each other. I draw the detail in once again with pastel pencil. Just checking the shading the whole time, just adjusting it, a little bit of detail here and there. I do finish this painting later on, and there will be an image which will be slightly different to this one, but the whole purpose of this is just to show you how to go about doing a painting like this. Putting a bit of highlights in using quite a bright yellow. I very rarely use white. I find the white is too strong, so for me the yellow works better. I'm just trying to get that light to wrap around these shapes. What is so lovely about these Goslings is they're quite lumpy, and they've got this terrific ambition to fly, and that's what I'm after. It made me laugh when I saw it, and even now when I'm painting it, it's just to try and capture that joy of the race of trying to get off the ground. And of course those silly little wings aren't going to lift them up. but it's just a great fun painting to paint. If you enjoyed watching this, please subscribe. You'll find the button down below. And if any of you do have a go at painting this, please email me your results. I'd love to see them.